strong enough to fight for your life? Are you strong enough to fight off germs, bugs, viruses and diseases? And I am definitely strong enough to fight for my life, but the fight that I've had today hasn't, well, this is paint on my face, it's not a real black eye. But it's a great analogy for life throws stuff at you. Now today I had a fantastic class. It's called Fight Fit for Fun. It's puffing and punching to make sure that your body can handle everything. And today the theme was boxing, so I have it painted on black eye. But it's a really good analogy for life because life will throw stuff at us, whether it's going to hurt or not. Sometimes it's not a big thing, but it still emotionally affects us. A bit like my eye, it doesn't hurt, but it looks bad. So I'm giving the impression that I've got a black eye. Sometimes our challenges give us the impression that they're going to kill us, they're going to hurt us, they're going to overcome us, they're going to take on our life and make it worse. But wouldn't it be nice to have a body and a brain that can handle anything that life throws at you? Can you kick doubt out? Can you punch out disease? Can you fight for your life? I'm going to ask the question again. And I'm in the gym, which is the ultimate place for fighting for your life. Strong muscles and strong bones. Your muscles send a message back to your brain as they're getting stronger. When you lift as heavy as you can, when you punch as hard as you can, when you kick as hard as you can, your muscles send a message back to your brain to say, we've got to be fitter and stronger for next time. Strong muscles pull on your bones. Your immune system's built inside your bones. So if you want to fight diseases, bugs and viruses and all the stuff that's out there in the world that can kill us, you've got to have a really strong immune system. So the best way, of course, is to put pressure on your bones. And just as a quick side story, my mother was diagnosed with advanced osteoporosis at the age of 74. Very weak, thinning bone disease. For most women who get diagnosed with advanced osteoporosis, they are dead within 6 months of the diagnosis. Now, most women don't die of osteoporosis, but once you are put in a wheelchair and they've told you can't move around because your bones are so weak you could fall over and they'll break, most people's lives are over even if they're not dead. I'm sharing that story with you because my mother started doing boxing. She started lifting really heavy weights, which is what I'm doing in the gym, and she died peacefully in her sleep at 98 with no osteoporosis. She had slight osteopenia. That means that if you've got weak muscles and bones, doesn't matter how old you are, you can build them back. My mother was 74 when she started doing strength training and boxing. So I'm an old lady, not quite that old, but every single day I'm in here fighting disease, fighting old age, fighting the negative stuff that's out in the world because I want to have a body that can deal with anything that life throws at me, which is why I box every day, why I lift heavy things, and why I get puffed every single day. So if you want a body that can fight disease, it's not going to happen by itself. As I always share, it doesn't fall out of the sky in a pretty pink box. To get strong muscles and bones, you have to overload them, you have to put pressure on them. And it's not just lifting heavy things, because lifting heavy things is quite slow. You have to do fast things to maintain your fast twitch muscle fibers. Now, a heavy strength training will do that. But what about your reaction time? What about pressure through your upper body? What about just banging into stuff to make your body strong? And that's one of the really cool things about, and I'm sure you've heard of fight and flight. You can sprint to get away from a threat, but if you can fight the threat, there's a different brain chemistry. And I share that every day because most people's brains are rotting away because they're just spending so much time on screens, or they're rotting away because they're not doing anything to maintain their brain density. Your brain cells are the same as your bone cells. You want your brain to stay strong, so you need to learn every day, you need to laugh every day, you need to put pressure on your brain, so you need to put your body and your brain under pressure, overcome challenges, get better and better at what you do, which means training and education and learning. So if you are overloading your muscles and bones, if you overload your heart and lungs, if you overload your brain every single day and put it under pressure, isn't it interesting? Most people are looking for ways to not put pressure through their body. How can I sit more? How can I do less? How can I have an easier job? How can I not deal with that challenge? I'm going to watch television and do nothing rather than go and fight my challenges. And as I always share, if you're a parent, a teacher, a coach, a boss, or a leader, do you really have an option to do that? In the fight and flight situation when you're under stress, as a parent, teacher, coach, boss, leader, you can't run away because you've got a team, you've got kids, you've got athletes, you've got people you've got to look after. So you can't run away because you can't run with them. What you obviously need to do is be able to fight every threat and challenge, overcome the challenge, be the leader, live the example of somebody who loves a challenge, can overcome the challenge. So there's my question. Are you a person who has the reputation of being a solution-finding, optimistic, powerful, passionate, positive person that people can trust under pressure? I ask myself that question every day, and I'm not a parent, but I'm certainly a teacher, and I am a coach, and I am a leader, and I want to be the person that people can rely on to be strong and tough in any situation. I want to be able to fight germs, bugs, viruses, and diseases. I want my body to be strong, tough, lean, healthy for the rest of my life. How about you? So the black eyes are fake, but the fit, strong, healthy body, that's got to be real, and that's got to be real every day, 365 days of every year for the rest of my life. How about you? Super duper doo, how are you? Living my life to the max, yeah.